My guest is Laura Southall, and we're going to talk about how to not get financially ruined if you become disabled. Is that basically what we're talking about?
Well, no, not exactly.
Not entirely. I haven't quite got it right.
So it's called the Registered Disability Savings Plan, RDSP, and a lot of people know the RRSP, but it's not common to know about the RDSP.
It's a new one on me. I've never heard of this before.
So more and more people are being identified as disabled in Canada, more than ever before, because so many criteria now fit under our Disability Act, right?
Okay.
So autism, for instance, that would be one. There's people with some severe anxiety or depression that would also qualify. So in Canada, it's the Disability Tax Credit, DTC, that you apply for, and then you have a disability in Canada. You should, if you have something that's a disability, you should be applying for it because you get money back at tax time. So that's a good thing in itself. But once you qualify for that DTC, then you can have a registered disability savings plan. And of the people who are disabled in Canada, less than 30% have them, and it's a huge amount of money that the government grants for having this account. So I know we've talked before about the RESP.
Yeah, the education fund.
Yeah,
right?
The education fund where people put money in and the government puts in 20% grant. With the RDSP, if you put money in, the government will grant you up to 300% of what you put in.
Really?
So for example, if you put $1,500 in, the government will put $3,500 in. So the intention of this account, it's for people who are disabled, for them to save for retirement. But because it's not normal if you're disabled to have a high-paying job often, the government is giving more grants to these people. So if you are in a certain income bracket, you get the maximum 300%, but it could go down as low as 100%. If you had a pretty good paying job, you would only get 100% matching. If you were having a part-time job, you would get 300% matching.
Which is pretty darn good. 100%
It's pretty crazy,
it's pretty
really.
good.
Yeah, so you don't have to put that much in to get quite a bit of money added to your account. So you can open the RDSP for a child if you wanted to, but when somebody is a child, so think my friend has an 8-year-old who has a disability, and she said, does it make sense to open the RDSP for him? And I said, yes, you can. Every dollar you put in is going to get matched, but while he's a child, it's based on your family income. The second he turns 18, it's based on his income. So his disability is pretty severe. He's got Down syndrome. And I said, what I would do is wait till he's 18, then open up the RDSP. Then it's based on his income, because probably he's just going to have a part-time job his whole life. So then he would get 300% for every dollar that you put in. So there is a maximum that you can put in, but you could, the ideal spot is $1,500 a year for you to contribute, and then you get the matching.
Now, the downside I see to this is people who are on disability live on very, very little money.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how they survive on it. It is insulting. It's I think it needs to be addressed. However, that's another subject for another day. So how are they supposed to come up with any money?
Yes, of course, and that's probably the number one reason why these accounts aren't used more. So it's often a parent or a grandparent who are contributing to the RDSP for the disabled person. So yes, you're right. In lots of cases, they wouldn't have the money to put $1,500 a year away. But in lots of cases, there is a parent or a grandparent who would put that away for them, knowing that they're going to get the matching, and then knowing that they can use this in retirement. So the other benefit to the RDSP, which is huge, is when you withdraw, it doesn't affect your disability payment from the government. So people refer to that as ODSP.
Right.
So when people are getting the ODSP payment, they don't want anything to affect it. And a payment from an RDSP does not affect it.
Now, I'm just thinking, if you wait till you retire, let's say age 60,
Yes.
then you can at least get CPP. I think, can you get
GIS?
OAS?
OAS is at age 65.
65 only. You can't bounce that back. You can't. Okay, let's say 65 then. So
you are forced to start withdrawing from the RDSP at age 60.
at age 60.
Yes.
Okay, so that might get you through from 60 to 65.
Yes.
And then you've got old age
OAS.
security, OAS, old age security in the supplement.
Yes. So ODSP stops at age 65. Then you would take CPP if you had it, which is what you get from working and contributing. And then you would get OAS and you would get GIS. So often...
Okay, just so
Yes.
GIS being
I know. Guaranteed Income Supplement.
And it's the money that makes, if you are under a certain income with all your sources of income, Guaranteed Income Supplement will bring you up to, what is it, around 20,000 a year?
So you have to be making less than 19,000, I think, for 2025 to qualify for GIS. But then you could get up to, it's around 1,000 is the maximum. So it could give you an extra $1,000 a month. So let's walk through the numbers for a second.
Okay.
So they're getting ODSP up till age 65. Then at age 65, they can get CPP if they worked. So that's what you worked and earned. But let's assume that somebody who has a severe disability has probably not worked a lot. So maybe they're getting $300 a month from CPP. Then they would be entitled to OAS. So that's old age security. That's everybody who's 65 in Canada. So right now that's at $723 a month. And then they would get GIS. And let's assume that they are only getting OAS, so they are definitely under the line. So they'd probably get about $1,000 a month from GIS. So now they're getting 700, 300, and 1,000. So they got 2,000 a month. Plus they could have a payment from their RDSP, and it wouldn't affect anything.
All right, that was the question.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get clawed back on your
No.
GIS, OAS, or any of those things.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit. It's the
Wow.
same. They have the same setup with the RESP, the Registered Education Savings Plan. It doesn't affect the kids applying for student loans. So if they withdraw from an RESP, it doesn't affect their ability to get student loans.
Okay.
Same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a, so,
So if you had somebody in your life who is disabled enough to get the disability tax credit, that's the only requirement to open this account.
okay.
Then they would open the account, and if they could contribute, if you break it down monthly, it's $125 a month. $125 a month would be the maximum you would want to contribute, unless you had years that you could catch up on. But I would wait until they're 18 to open it up, so that it's based on their income, not family income, because then they're entitled to more grants. And 300% is huge.
It's huge. That's amazing.
So if you had somebody in your life, let's think about my friend with her son who's Down syndrome.
Right.
She waits till he's 18. She puts $125 a month into his account, and then the government grants. So she's putting $1,500 a year. They're going to put $3,500. That's pretty crazy.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It also, I'm thinking grandparents out
Grandparents.
there. You say, well, you know, I'm going to leave them money in my will.
Yes.
You know, you might be better off just
You're
doing this.
so
and
much better.
so much better to do it this way than to leave them, you know, several $100,000 when you pass away. Instead, start putting that in.
Yes.
And
So that's also a really good point, because parents, as they age and they have a disabled child,
Oh.
they are very worried about that adult child, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
So they are able to contribute to leave their RRSP to that child's RDSP.
Okay.
I know, which is a huge benefit.
huge.
Tax free.
It's huge.
Tax free, it can transfer.
That's right.
So their RRSP, the parents can be left to the RDSP of the child, of the adult child. And then it's never going to affect their disability payments
Wow.
either.
That's really an amazing scheme. I didn't know anything about this.
I know.
So I guess the thing is too, if you're not sure, see if you are eligible for.
The first question is, are you eligible for the disability tax credit?
Right, get that underway.
And then any bank or credit union, you can open up an RDSP.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much for telling me about this. This is
You're welcome.
really
I hope it
mind-boggling.
helps somebody.
I hope so,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they can contact you, and your information's on the screen, and they want to know more.
Yeah, great.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
You're welcome
Okay.
anytime.
Good to see you again.